What's going on, guys? Hornot606 here, and I'm going to be bringing you an updated video of my collection, various figures that I've collected over the past year. I've changed a few things. I've actually redone this video like 3 times already because my collection kept growing. So I'm just going to run through it. It actually turned out to be a longer video than originally planned, so I'm going to split it into 2 parts. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm a big collector. I've collected various different figures, mostly Transformers, mostly starting to build on Marvel Legends, but we'll talk through it as we go through my collection. So here, this is probably the first change. These were the Hero Factory / Bionicle figures. I've moved them from what I call the toy corner over to the top of my DVD stack shelf, I guess. This is where some of them sit. The ones that I like the most probably sit right here. And as you can see, we've got, I can't remember the names of the characters here, but these are all villain characters, plus the one Star Wars character there. That's probably the last of this type of figure that I've collected, purely because I like the designs of these figures, of the Hero Factory and the Bionicle figures, and plus the odd Star Wars figure. But they're mostly concentrate on Star Wars now, so I kind of stopped collecting that, and they don't do the Hero Factory or Bionicle now. That's all obsolete. So at least that's one set of figures I don't have to worry about collecting anymore. So we move on to my Transformers collection, which is probably now the biggest part of my collection. I'm not quite sure. Maybe my wrestling figures still hold a larger number, but I don't know. But I'm pretty sure my Transformers collection is now a lot bigger. As we move through, sorry if I can't remember all the names of the characters and stuff like that, or I forget to mention a few. But the main change here is this used to have combiners on it, all combiners, whether they were Decepticon or Autobots. But now I've changed that, so this top shelf here is just Autobots from various different lines. So Combiner Wars, there are some Titans Return figures, I believe, that are on there as well, and also from the recent Power of the Primes, there's a odd figure here or two. But the 2 biggest figures here on the left, you can see, is Metroplex. On the right was Fort Maximus. As we pan out, you can see that these are all Autobots here. And then off to the left, you can see that I've made an addition now to the little toy corner. These are all Decepticons. This is from my first recording. As I said, I've recorded this like 3 times. I do have a couple of additional figures, mainly one of them being Predaking, which is the Titan class figure, which I've been waiting for to come out for ages, and I finally got that. I will show you that off in a minute. As you can see here, we have the combiners at the back there. So we have Superion, we have Defensor on the right, we have Computron and Victorion on the left. I love the combiners line. I think it was a great line. I think some of my standouts, probably Defensor from this shelf here. As you can see, we've got Power of the Primes Prime just in the back, just in front of Computron and Superion. Here you can see I've got what's it, Quick Switch. I was about to say 6 Shot there, but that's Quick Switch. He was part of a box set. I managed to get him separately, individually, off eBay, second hand, still in perfect condition. Legs are a bit loose, but it's perfectly, apart from that, it's perfectly fine. There's Defensor there. All the limbs are there. As you can see, Fort Max is the big one in the background with the sword. You saw it earlier. As you can see, there's Superion, there's Computron on the left, there's Power of the Primes Prime just in front. As you can see, it's got the third-party kit on there, so it's got the chest and the head, which I think it makes it look like a lot better figure, apart from the mismatching colour on the chest, but it is what it is. Here's Victorion. Not my favourite, was part of the box set, it's the only way you could get it. but here's kind of like an official combiner. Here's Mirage, part of the Combiner Wars line. I originally did have these combined with the white Prime, but I only kept the actual proper official combiners together and not ones that just were regular characters mushed together. So as you can see, there's Prowl from Combiner Wars also. Fantastic figure, love it. We got we've got Hound from Combiner Wars, which I love that figure. Alpha Trion. We got Inferno, which is a remold of Hotspot, but was released during the Power of the Primes line. So yeah. Again, there's Prime again. There's Brainstorm. That is the, what was that? The Thrilling 30 Generations one. We've got the Dinobots we're moving on to here. There is the White Prime in the back. That was originally in its combined form, but I don't really see it as a proper combiner. So kind of happy that Power of the Primes actually brought all the Dinobots together. Yeah, they're a mishmash of sizes. You know, Grimlock's the biggest, but everyone else is a deluxe size figure. But I don't mind. I'm just happy that we've got Dinobots officially and at an affordable price. Yeah, there are third parties that have probably done a lot better job, but I'm gonna go with the official. That's at that price point that I can actually afford. And we've got Dinobot Slash, one of the newer Dinobots. And then there's Quick Switch again. So as you can see, this shelf is primarily just from the Autobot side. There are no Decepticons on this shelf. And as you can see, we do have Rook, who is part of the Defensor Combiner, but I also have Groove, which is the original limb for Defensor. And also behind Rook we have Broadside, the Titans Return figure. Coming down the cabinets, now the figures in here are probably a bit squashed together, but I don't have a lot of space, so I kind of had to do it this way until I figure out a better idea. So as we go down, we have some of the classic figures from the classic line. I can't remember what they're probably called. I think they're called Classics 2 point something. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but we've got Wheeljack, we've got Mirage on the left. You can see from War for Cybertron line, we've got the Seekers that were based off the video game. There's Skywarp, one of my favourite of the Seekers. We also have Prime, who we'll get to. There's Jazz, he was from the Classics line. Still one of my favourite Jazz, much better than the Titans Return, not Titans Return, Power of the Primes one. But not saying that the Power of the Primes one's bad, but this classic one's a lot better. There's Prime from War for Cybertron, just there in the back. Here we have Hound from the Classics. We've got Sunstreak on the left and the yellow there. Megatron for War for Cybertron figure line, and then also we've got the rest of the Seekers that you can just about see. We got Thundercracker at the back, and then in the middle we got Starscream with the red. And as you can see, you can just about see Prowl. There we go. We can see Prowl. That's the Classics Prowl there onto the left. And there's Jazz again, and I really do enjoy collecting, but basically stuff that's based on things that I used to watch or like to watch in the past. And figure collecting is something I've been doing for a long time now, years. We move down to the second shelf there. We've got Ironhide from the Classics line. We have, as you can see, Reptar, who I collected recently. He wasn't in the last video, he's there now. I'm glad I got my hand on that. And I believe he's Junk Heap, who's the one that's transformed in a bike there. As you can see, moving on, we do have the smaller bops. So there's the Pretenders from the Power of the Primes line that hold the power, that hold the mini versions of the Primes, I guess. We got some Titans Returns on the right. Down the middle, if I can get the camera to focus, got some more Titans Returns there. Can't remember that guy's name, but you can see Tailgate there, then one of the smaller bots in front, and then you can see what's his name? You got Sea Spray right in front. Here you can see Hot Rod. Now you can see him. Another Dinobot. Now obviously this is a bit of older footage, because that Dinobot is actually now on the upper shelf, not on the lower shelf. That's one of the changes I've been making on and off, which is why I had to record this video like 3 times. Just gather different footage from each of them. The one in blue, the small bot, is Beachcomber, and also we've got Wheelie that was just in front there, and obviously that's back over to the left, which is the figures we just looked at. So there's Mirage again, there's Wheeljack, all in good condition in this cabinet here. I might take some out and just spread them out so they can all be seen, but we'll see what happens with that, as I don't have a lot of space. Let's see who else can. I don't think there's any other. I'm trying to focus. There's another figure right at the back. I can't remember who that is. As I said before, I'm not going to remember the names of every Transformer that you see here, but I'll try my best to remember. And there's Ironhide. We have another Prime at the back. There's Goldbug on the left, another Bumblebee. We have Cliff Jumper just in the front there. We have Sideswipe down here in red also, along with Blue Streak in the black and silver. Also in this cabinet there's Windblade, another version of Windblade. That was the first Windblade figure that was released. The other one was the other one I have is the Titans Return one, which you saw right at the beginning of this video. I believe we have Chroma in the blue in the back. You just about saw it earlier. Who else? We also had RC in there. Now we move on to the next shelf. Mostly Decepticons in this one. So we have Cyclonus here. More Titans Return, Armada, Starscream. That's from one of the older generations line. One of the Decepticon twins at the front. We have all the Insecticons that have been released. Going down even further, here we have again Titans Return Megatron. We've got Blitzwing. We've got Octone or Octane, however you want to pronounce it. And depending which version you're following. We have Soundwave at the back. We've got Combiner Wars, Cyclonus. Another version of Blitzwing. This was from one of the earlier generations line. You can see Six Shot in the back, who was from Titans Return. Fantastic. Again, there is Combiner Wars Megatron, another great figure. Love the Soundwave. Pretty much my favorite Transformer is Soundwave, and probably one of my favorite figures to date from this Transformers line is probably Soundwave. I think they did a fantastic job with that Soundwave in this Titans Return line. Sorry for the light, I'm holding like the camera and the light at the same time, so if it goes dark, because I've tried to adjust the camera. There's Galvatron from Titans Return. A little disappointed with that figure, mainly because of the head, but I think a lot of people were. Or maybe we might get another one down the line that does the job, but we can only hope. So here we have one of the sweeps, or I used them both as sweeps because they came as a box set. So I have, I think, including the Titans Return, I have like 3 Scourges plus a sweep. So there's a sweep and there's one version of Scourge just behind. There were a box set. I managed to get the box set recently. Actually, it was actually pretty cheap. The box sets come down quite a lot, so I just picked it up. There's another figure in there, I can't remember the name of that character. We do have another version of Soundwave just behind Blitzwing. It's kind of dark, so you can't see it very well. There he is there. There was a bit of dust on there, but I'm not going to clean every single figure. So there's another version of Soundwave at the back that was based on the Transformers War for Cybertron video game, I believe. And then here's just another overall shot. And then obviously that's Buzzsaw. There's Ravage, which can all transform into cassettes to fit inside Soundwave, just like in the original cartoon and comics. So we're moving on, another mix of characters here from different lines, all Autobots. We've got some Titans Return figures, we've got some Rating 30, I think we've got some Combiner Wars, I think, in here somewhere. So we do have Rodimus Prime all the way in the back. You can just about see him. Was released recently as part of the Power of the Prime lines. Love the concept of what they tried to do. They did it with Prime as well. I love the concept. There is Blaster, essentially the same mold as Soundwave, does exactly the same thing, same articulation, but he's just Blaster. What else we got there? We had Springer. One of my favorite figures is Springer. Ultra Magnus there at the back, part of the Titans Return line. So glad they didn't make it into a combiner. Who else we got? We did have Grimlock just there on the left. Moving on, this is my small collection of my Mattel figures. I have a lot more, but I am making more space to fit them all out. So Mattel have been doing WWE figures for a number of years now. I do have a big collection of Jakks figures, but I've just got nowhere to put them out now. So I'm just gonna have to stick with the Mattel figures. Now Mattel have done a great job. There's just a little bit more detail and more articulation with the Mattel figures now. I only collect the elites and not the basics. Here's a small selection of my Playouts Kai. Saw this in the previous video as well. As again, I tried to adjust and focus my camera. This is not all of them. This is just the ones that I could fit out and I could manage to put out. I don't particularly collect this line anymore. Too many QC issues with it, and the price point on those figures has skyrocketed. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first part of my video. I'm going to do another part, and stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.